Please welcome Jenna Bradley. Holy shit, give it up for Erin and everyone you've seen, you guys. Wow. Whew. What a time to be alive. Year of our Lord, 2018. How are we all hanging up? You doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing good. The election's coming up. Trying not to think about it too much. I already did my voting. I early voted. I'm better than you guys. It's cool. Oh, no, there's other heroes in the house. Very good, very good. Me and Taylor Swift are really proud of you. I'm getting by, you know. I'm a single gal in the world, shaving about as often as I go to weddings. I had a man in my bed the other day, and he looked down and saw a stain in my sheets, and I yelled in his face, "That's not pizza sauce, it's period blood." Things are going good. Yeah. No, 2018 actually has been a really big year for me. For instance, I'm 6 months sober. Thank you. I'm a professional designated driver. And also, I've kind of been on like a journey of self-discovery this year. And I feel like I finally got to the point in my life where as an adult woman, I was ready to commit. I pulled the trigger and I named my breasts. So this is like their coming out party. And I'd like to formally introduce you guys to Spiro Agnew, Richard Nixon. You know, because like they're both pretty low, but like Richard Nixon's a little bit lower. Yeah, we know how to party. Yeah, things are going good. I also had my first adult makeout at the age of 26. Listen, that pregnant pause is appropriate. Here's the thing, I am on the asexuality spectrum. So I don't know if that means anything to y'all. It basically just means that like, if I want to manipulate someone, I mostly have to use my words. It's not going awesome. So I was trying to learn some new skills. And so I was out at a bar, much less classy than the one we're in right now. We were out back, me and this associate, sharing a cigarette, even though I don't smoke. That's fine. And you know, it suddenly dawned on me, I was like, listen, he's not awful. No pus, no visible sores, ticking all the boxes, you know? It was a time that was ripe for science experiments. So I just kind of was like, hey, you want to make out? And it was literally that easy. So he waddled over and he put his mouth on my mouth. And it was so much, you guys. It was like, all of a sudden, like, very viscerally, like, I had two flashbacks to, like, big sense experience moments in my life, right? Like, number one, kindergarten, first time I ate paste. Because it was, like, a lot of peer pressure, but, like, put on by me. I was like, he likes that. A lot of my peers like that. A lot of my popular peers like that. They all seem to be thriving. They seem to be doing well. Maybe I should partake in this activity. And then the other visceral memory that I had was the first time I had sushi. Because it was like slimy, but like not in a good way. And it just, I knew it wasn't for me. Like immediately I was like, after all that human tongue in my mouth, I could have really used a shot of paste, you know? So not for me, but I'm out here looking for love, you know, doing my damnedest. I was actually wooing someone who I was enamored enough with to volunteer to be their designated driver, which is a lot. On St. Patrick's Day. So it was me, my paramour, and then their two friends in the back seat. One of whom was a gentleman I had met that night named Brent. He was an interesting fella. He was a childhood friend. You know, the kind that you don't have to really like, you just kind of make excuses for. And the person that I had a crush on was passed the fuck out in the passenger seat. And so was the other person. So it was just me and Brent kicking it, wilding out through Fountain Square on St. Patrick's Day. And he's rambling. He's ranting about apparently the entrepreneurial dynasty he's gonna start. He leans forward at a red light and he whisper screams in my ear, "I have to be the Steve Jobs of something, goddammit." It was a lot. I was like, "Brent, calm down, you're chill, man. You're already like the Steve Jobs of like being the human embodiment of a sock and an Adidas sandal and like making my upholstery smell like Old Spice." He went to sleep, it was fine. But the next morning, it was a thought that festered. I was like, am I the Steve Jobs of anything? Like I'm the Steve Jobs of like buying bras that don't fit maybe, or like buying kale and letting it become liquid in my crisper. I was like, I was feeling sad for myself. I was like, I'm the Steve Jobs of like not taking care of myself. But then I remember that Steve Jobs was the Steve Jobs of not taking care of himself. You guys know how that dude died? He died of a totally curable illness because he thought that he could wash his feet in toilet water and get better. And now my iPhone doesn't have a headphone jack. And that's selfish. That's textbook selfish. You guys have been very generous with me tonight. I've been Jenna Bradley. Thank you so much.